What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another gun guide. This is the series where I go into great detail of all of the stats of every one of the guns in the game, as well as their variants. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the ERAD. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so kicking it off with the base stats for the ERAD, we've got a damage profile of 30, 23, 19, meaning it's going to have a 4-shot, 5-shot, and 6-shot kill range. Our rate of fire is 810 rounds per minute, which is quite fast, and that means our time to kill up close within the 4-shot kill range is going to be 222 milliseconds. At medium range in the 5-shot kill range, it's 296 milliseconds, and at the longer ranges, it's going to be 370 milliseconds. So overall, as long as you're keeping your gunfights up close, you've got a pretty fast time to kill, but it's by no means the fastest time to kill in the game. As for aim down sight time, standard for SMGs at 230 milliseconds, which is 20 milliseconds faster than assault rifles. Our sprint out time is standard for SMGs at 150 milliseconds, and keep in mind all of the assault rifles and LMGs got increased sprint out times, so this is actually a significant number now because this sprints out faster than assault rifles and LMGs now. Our reload add time is 1.59 seconds, movement speed 98%, which is standard for SMGs, magazine capacity 30 rounds with a total starting ammo of 90 rounds, including the magazine that you spawn with. Getting into the ranges for the ERAD, our 4-shot kill potential reaches out to 12 meters, and our 5-shot kill potential reaches out to 20 meters. Anything beyond 20 meters is always going to be a 6-shot kill with the ERAD. When you pop a suppressor on there, you reduce your ranges by 25%, and when you pop particle amp on there, you increase it by 20%. So with the ERAD, I would say particle amp is not a bad choice at all, because now we have that extended SMG target assist range, so you're still going to be within the target assist range within that extended range that particle amp gives you. And also the ERAD has great recoil properties, which we're going to be looking at in a little bit. It's very controllable at this range, and therefore particle amp is a great choice. As for suppressor, as long as you're not playing competitive or anything like that, if you're in public matches, I still find suppressor to be a great choice on the ERAD. It's got a good fire rate, so even if it happens to take you one extra shot to kill, in public matches, that's usually not going to make that much of a difference. Getting into our hipfire spread, it's standard for the SMG category, which is also best in the SMG category, and the same as the Karma, the RPR in SMG mode, as well as the HVR and the MACTAV. For headshots on the ERAD, we get a multiplier of 1.1, which takes our headshot damage profile to a 33, 25, 20. This means that headshots are practically useless in this game. Yes, you can get a 4-shot headshot within the 5-shot kill range if you land all headshots, but that's just not realistic in game. Same thing goes for the 6-shot kill range. In its standard 6-shot kill range, if you can manage to land 5 headshots in a row, it will be a kill. But again, just not practical, so basically don't even worry about headshots with this gun. So overall thoughts on the base ERAD before we get into the variants, I would say it's one of the more solid SMGs in the game. We're going to probably start seeing this pop up in competitive every now and then, now that we have the buff to SMGs with the sprint out time as well as the target assist range. So ERAD is an excellent choice. If you guys haven't tried it yet, make sure you give it a shot. But now let's hop into the variants. And first up, we have the Common Ascendant. This one just gives you Sharpshooter, which increases all of your damage ranges by 5%. Not a super noticeable increase or anything, but I mean, if it's the only variant you have, it's definitely better than the base. Moving on to the rare variant, we've got the Reckoning. This one gives you Jackpot as well as Steady. And with Jackpot, kills will grant an additional 10% score. Keep in mind, this is score and not XP, so this helps you get your score streaks up a little bit easier, but this doesn't help you level up any faster. As for Steady, this will reduce your hip spread by a total of 20%. Moving on to the legendary variant, we've got the Merciless. This one gives you Refresher as well as Stockpile. And with Refresher, a 5-player kill streak will restore 1 lethal and 1 tactical on your class. If you aren't running a lethal or tactical, this does absolutely nothing for you. As for Stockpile, this will increase our magazine capacity to 36 rounds, and our total starting ammo, including the magazine that's in your gun when you spawn, up to 108 rounds, which is actually quite nice for the ERAD because you burn through ammo quite quickly. And also, one thing to keep in mind, this is an energy weapon, so you can't put on extended mags, so this is the only way to increase your magazine capacity. Moving on to our first epic, we've got the Cerberus, and this one gives you Master Key, which will give you an underbarrel shotgun on the gun, which is amazing. And it also gives you stability, which reduces your view kick by 3%. Now let's just get the stability part of this out of the way, then we'll have a look at the shotgun because that's the more interesting part. As you can see here, the base ERAD has a 10-round recoil plot that is a little bit spread out. You can definitely notice there is some recoil. I would say it's relatively controllable within its effective range, but still, you can see that recoil there. In the middle, we have the ERAD Cerberus with no grip attached, and you can see that recoil is definitely noticeably more controllable. And then finally, on the right, we've got the ERAD Cerberus with a grip equipped, which gives us a total of a 10% reduction to our view kick, and again, you can see that recoil is a lot more controllable. Now getting into the Master Key Shotgun, I don't have any actual hard stats on this, but I did do some testing with this, thanks to Persian Runner for helping me out with this. He has the ERAD Cerberus and I don't. And you can see here, this is by far the fastest firing shotgun in the game. Based on my hand testing, I was able to calculate approximately a 400 rounds per minute rate of fire, which is insanely fast for a shotgun. Now the Master Key can one-shot an enemy, but you have to be point blank to them in order to get a kill with one shot. As you can see here, this is the maximum 2-shot kill potential of the Master Key attachment. And therefore, most of the time, it's going to take you like 3 to 4 shots to get a kill with this shotgun. Just make sure if you start to get towards those mid-ranges, aim down sight because it will tighten up your spread quite noticeably, as you can see here. And I would say the Master Key Shotgun is among one of the better shotguns in the game, which was surprising to see. I was expecting it to be just a bit of a gimmick that wasn't really all that good. And in reality, it is quite solid. As long as you're keeping your gunfights very, very close, like within the same room, within that 2 to 3 shot kill potential, you're going to be able to do quite well with the Master Key. Is it necessary to switch to the Master Key all the time? I would say no, just because the ERAD kills so fast up close anyways. But still, it is nice to know you have that shotgun attachment and you can potentially 1 or 2 shot kill an enemy with a 400 round per minute gun. So overall, my thoughts on the Cerberus, I would say if you really like the ERAD, it might be worth the 4,000 salvage for you to craft this gun. Mainly because of that stability weapon perk. I really like that. You can definitely notice that reduction to the recoil. And also having that Master Key Shotgun definitely doesn't hurt. Now moving on to the second epic variant of the ERAD, we've got the Cyclopean. This one is relatively new at the time of me making this video. I actually went out and I spent 4,000 salvage on this right away just because it's such a unique weapon. The thing that makes this so unique is Particle Beam. And with Particle Beam, it essentially turns your gun into like a laser gun almost, instead of a more normal sort of energy weapon that fires individual shots. In addition to this, it also gives you focus, which will give you a 50% reduction to your idle sway. Now this gun actually has quite a few stats that are completely different to the base ERAD, so I'm going to have a whole new stat screen just for the Cyclopean here. So even though the Cyclopean looks like it's firing an energy beam, it's like a constant stream of damage, what's really happening in the code is it's coded to fire 1200 rounds per minute. So it's still firing 1200 rounds per minute as a hit scan, just as if you were firing regular bullets. You just get that really cool particle beam animation, and also they did add aim down sight spread, which means you don't fire directly where you're aiming. It's going to be very, very close, and you're not really going to notice any issues with this until you get to the longer ranges, but there is aim down sight spread, and I believe it's the only gun in the game that has aim down sight spread. In addition to this change to our rate of fire, they also changed up the damage profile, which makes sense because if you had the same damage profile with 1200 rounds per minute, you'd have an instant overpowered gun. Our new damage profile is 19, 16, 12, 10. That's right, it's got 4 damage ranges. And this means it's going to be a 6, 7, 9, or 10 shot kill with the Cyclopean. Now that might seem really daunting, but since the rate of fire is so ridiculously high, it makes our time to kill not that bad, although a little bit higher than I expected when I first saw these time to kill numbers. Up close you get a 250 to 300 millisecond time to kill, which is about average. It's not like super fast by any means, but it's pretty solid, like it'll kill pretty quickly. And then once you start to get to the mid to somewhat longer ranges, it's 400 to 450 milliseconds, which is really bad. So you definitely don't want to be using this gun at range. Having said that, you can, if you're catching an enemy off guard or if you're like looking at his back or something like that, you can still pick them off from a bit of a distance. That's one misconception with this gun. A lot of people think that it is completely useless at longer ranges. You can definitely still hit your enemies, and the focus weapon perk definitely helps with this particular area. In addition to this, we get an increased magazine capacity of 45 rounds, and our total starting ammo is going to be 135 rounds. This might seem like a decent amount, but because your rate of fire is so ridiculously high, you burn through this ammo almost instantly, it feels like. So I would highly recommend running Scavenger and or Fusion Mag with the Cyclopean. Now overall, my thoughts on the Cyclopean, like I said, I crafted this on the very first day that it was available. I spent that 4,000 salvage, and I don't regret it at all. I feel like the stats don't really do it justice. This gun is a lot of fun to use. Part of it is just that animation with the particle beam, It just feels like its own completely different gun. There's nothing else in the game like it, and it's quite powerful up close. You don't really want to use it towards those longer ranges, but definitely up close, it's solid. So I will say with this variant, I have absolutely no regrets spending 4,000 salvage on it. I would do it again if I had to, and if you're on the fence about it, I would say just go for it. And that's going to wrap it up for all of the variants of the ERAD so far. I'm sure there's going to be more to come because we don't really have too many ERAD variants at this point in the game's life cycle. So I will keep you guys updated on those as long as they're interesting enough and not like super self-explanatory. I will definitely keep you guys updated on those in the future. Overall with the ERAD, my favorite variants are actually going to be the 2 epic variants. This is actually the first time where the epic variants are my most recommended variants of the gun. A lot of times you get surprised by a rare or a common or something like that, but not in this case. Both the Cerberus as well as the Cyclopean are excellent variants, and I would say you're not going wrong either way if you want either one of those epic variants. As for my recommended setups when using the ERAD, I always run either Fusion Mag or Scavenger. You burn through ammo quite quickly with the ERAD, and I find if I'm not running Fusion Mag or Scavenger, I'm running out of ammo just constantly with it. So definitely I like popping those on there. Also, Quick Draw, even though SMGs have a slightly faster aim down sight time than assault rifles, Quick Draw is just so powerful in this game. It cuts your aim down sight time in half, and anybody with an assault rifle, if you're not running Quick Draw, and they are, they're still going to have an aim down sight advantage over you. So you pretty much need to run Quick Draw in my opinion. Grip is a good choice as well on the ERAD, I would say, and that's pretty much all I usually run. It's going to be like Quick Draw, Fusion Mag, and Grip, or just Quick Draw Fusion Mag, or just Quick Draw Grip. I kind of switch those up a little bit, but Quick Draw is a must-have for me. And with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode of Gun Guides. I'd love to know in the comment section below, what do you think of the ERAD, especially after the patch to the SMG target assist range, as well as sprint out times? Do you like the ERAD? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's too good? Let me know in the comment section below, and also, please let me know what is your favorite variant of the ERAD. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.